Hello, everybody. Chuck, Northside Guy, back with another episode featuring 1933 Goudey cards. In today's episode here, we're going to focus on three pitchers: Hoyt, Burley Grimes, and Red Ruffing. So I want you to settle in. Got some really interesting stories, I think, around Hoyt in particular. And so let's just jump right in. Really an interesting life this guy led. Hall of Famer, inducted in 1969 by the Veterans Committee. Win-loss record, career record, I don't know, it doesn't seem really that extraordinary to me. 237 wins, 182 losses, 3.59 ERA, and 1,206 strikeouts. He got his start when he was signed at age 15 to a professional contract by none other than New York Giants manager John McGraw. And he was nicknamed the Schoolboy Wonder. After a brief stint with the Giants, he was sent to the minors and then brought up through the Red Sox and attracted the attention of the Yankees there early in his career. And in his first season as a Yankee, he won 19 games and pitched 3 complete games in the World Series without allowing an earned run. So that was just the first, and over his career he would win 6 more American League pennants with the Yankees and 1 with the Philadelphia Athletics. In 1928, he posted records of 22 wins, 7 losses, 2.64 ERA. And during his 21-year career, he won 10 or more games 12 times. So I guess we can start seeing a case for Hall of Fame performance here. He pitched for 8 years after leaving the Yankees in 1930, but he never dominated consistently like he did with them. So now I have a couple stories that are not about baseball, but about Hoyt that I think just adds some really interesting color. Hoyt was known as the Merry Mortician. When he was not playing baseball, he spent days, if you can get this, working as a funeral director and nights appearing in vaudeville. And as a vaudevillian, he appeared with Jack Benny, Jimmy Durante, George Burns. And after retiring as a player, Hoyt went into broadcasting. First, WNEW in New York. And he was kind of a pathbreaker because at the time the view was that former players did not have enough vocabulary to be successful broadcasters. Well, Red Barber of the Dodgers famously thought otherwise and hired him as a color commentator and host of the pre- and post-game shows in 1940. And after 2 years, he became the play-by-play voice of the Reds, Cincinnati Reds, a post he held for 24 years. And he became as much a celebrity with the Reds as he was while a player. He was well known for calling games exclusively in the past tense, which was and still is unique in sportscasting. So where most baseball announcers would say, "Here's the pitch," Hoyt would say, "There was the pitch." He told author Kurt Smith that he felt like using past tense was accurate because, as I speak to you, what happened a moment ago is gone. Hoyt also was well known as a preeminent authority on Babe Ruth, and he was known for entertaining radio audiences during rain delays, sharing anecdotes and telling vivid stories from his days as a player. A selection of these stories is collected on 2 record albums, the best of Hoyt in the Rain and Hoyt Talks Babe Ruth. So Hoyt was one of the first professional athletes to develop a successful career in broadcasting, and his name frequently appears in the all-time best broadcaster lists as well. Hoyt also was a longtime member of Alcoholics Anonymous, and during a 1978 Old Timers game, he said wistfully he would have won 300 games if he had stopped drinking during his playing days. After joining AA, he remained sober for more than 40 years. And his life ends as interesting as he lived it. He died of a heart failure while preparing for what he realized would be his final visit to the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. Hoyt, here in a PSA 5.5. Share the back. Thanks for listening to all those stories. I hope you enjoyed them. I enjoyed collecting that information. Next up, Burley Grimes. Not as much story here, but we see him pictured here in PSA 5.5. He is, when the spitball was banned in 1920, Burley Grimes was named as one of 17 pitchers who were allowed to continue to throw that pitch. I'd love to find out who the other 17 are, or 16 are. He was, again, like with many of these others, voted into the Hall of Fame by the Veterans Committee. He was nicknamed Old Stubblebeard, related to his habit of not shaving on days in which he was going to pitch. I think you could call most of the majors these days something like that. Anyway, I digress. He's listed in the Baseball Hall of Shame series for having not thrown at a batter, but thrown at a batter in the on-deck circle. So that's all I have to say about Burley Grimes. Nice looking card, good blue background. This was the season he's featured on the Cubs. Last up for this video is Red Ruffing, depicted here in PSA 5. He enjoyed a long 23-year career in the major leagues. Win-loss record of 273 wins, 225 losses, 3.8 ERA, 1,987 strikeouts. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1967. Ruffing's start was kind of interesting to me. He dropped out of school as a child to work in a coal mine in his native downstate home in Illinois. He played for the mine's company baseball team as an outfielder and first baseman. And after he lost 4 toes from his left foot in a mining accident, he became unable to run in the field and switched to pitching. In spite of that, the Red Sox picked him up, but they had to get rid of him because the owner of the Red Sox was having some financial difficulties and traded him to the Yankees, where he became successful as a Yankees ace, and he appeared on 6 of the Yankees World Series championship teams. He appeared in 6 Major League All-Star games. Beautiful card here. Take a look here. In total, Ruffing won 231 games with the Yankees. That was the most in franchise history until Whitey Ford surpassed it in 1965. That said, he does remain the winningest right-handed pitcher in Yankee history. Now, even though he got made an early transition from hitting to pitching, he could still handle the bat really well compared to most other pitchers. He hit 36 home runs in his career and batted .269 in 1,937 career at-bats. He hit over 300 in 8 different seasons and was frequently used as a pinch hitter in games he did not pitch. Ruffing threw a fastball, a sharp curveball, and a slider. According to American League umpire Bill Summers, on account of Red Ruffing, the slider got to be the thing. And another umpire, Joe Paparella, said, "The first game I ever worked behind the plate in the major leagues was against the guy who invented the slider and had the best slider ever seen, Red Ruffing." So there you go, folks. Thanks for watching this video. More to come.